All right. Hello, everybody. Oh no, where's my water? Hold on. Hold on. Hello. Hello. We are early today. Which is great. Still here. Hello, Sissy53. Music coming through. All right, cool. Let's do this. My name is Austin Hamilton. I need a haircut. Also known as the porn coach, PXRN coach. Because you can't say porn on the internet. Or can you? We are here to talk about porn, betrayal, and the like. If you want to come on here and share your story, you're welcome to. Go ahead and request. If you want to share your story, debate, agree, disagree with my assertion, which is porn cheating? In my view, if you're in a committed monogamous relationship with another person, and you've said something like, I love you and only you, I'm committed to only you, mind, body, and soul, till death do us part. And if you deviate from that, then that would be cheating. I'm going to read a couple quotes here from the book, The Betrayal Bind. Very good book. In their article, Treating Attachment-Injured Couples, Sandra Naiman and colleagues offer two core questions that summarize our attachment needs. Am I worthy of love and care, and can I count on others in times of distress and need? How we answer these questions determines how we attach to and relate with others over the course of our lives. And how we answer these questions also determines how we see ourselves, as worthy or unworthy of consistent love, care, and protection. Cheating, no, but every relationship has boundaries, different boundaries. I would watch it with my man. What benefit do you get from watching it with your man? What benefit do you get from watching your man watch another woman have sex and be aroused by it? What benefit are you getting from that? Is this a rhetorical question? No. You want to hop on and chat, though? Be happy to chat with you. Aimbot is cheating. Aimbot is cheating, that is for sure. If you've ever been a gamer and you're in a situation when somebody else is using aimbot, that is for sure cheating. It's very frustrating. If you like my content, give me a follow. Follow button up there while you're at it. Subscribe. And like and share this. We'll see if we can get this going. Get some guests on here. If you want to share your story, share your opinion, agree or disagree, feel free to come on here. See a lot of people joining. What if you watch only girls? Well, the same principle would apply. You're watching a woman have sex, period, with somebody else. I always said, what you do on your own time is not my business. I don't want to know. Well, do you really believe that? Sure, Madison Rose, you can join. I think it's cheating if you've agreed. Hit the request button down there. If you've agreed that you're committed to only the other person, and if you deviate from that, isn't that cheating? Hey, what's going on?
Hi, excuse my profile picture. I changed it a while ago and never changed it back. So I know it's kind of crazy.
Okay.
But a little anecdotal. So like I started seeing someone a couple of months ago, and there have been numerous times where I have caught him and he has lied about it, but I haven't seen it on his phone, but I've seen it, and I think I'm having a really hard time bringing it up and not knowing, like I've caught him fondling, and I don't know what the best way to bring it up without like fighting about it. You know what I mean?
Well, there
And I
may not be a
definitely
great way
think
to
it
bring it
is.
up without fighting about it.
Well, darn. Because I've set the boundary. And I do
What's
think that it's not faithful to me. Like, I think that I give him a lot, and I think that that's not fair.
Yeah,
You
well,
know what I
one,
mean?
I mean, yeah, if you bring it up, it's going to be uncomfortable. That's the reality, right? Now, whether it turns to a fight or not, I mean, you get to decide if it goes to that point, right? And I would also be curious what your boundary actually is. But here's the thing: is you can go to him and say, here's how you can disarm a potential fight when bringing something tough to somebody is just ground yourself in curiosity. I'm just curious here. Do you watch porn? Are you still watching porn? If the person in the past has, I know it's been a problem in the past, but I'm just curious. I want to know, like, is this still an issue for you? If you make the other person
Mm.
wrong when you bring something up, that's what can make a fight. Does that make
Okay.
sense?
Yeah, I guess so. Because like, I'm trying not to, I don't know. I think it's the lying part that's getting to me too. You know what I mean? If like he was just honest and upfront with it, I guess I would just be like, okay, like
Yeah, but think
whatever.
about it. Think about it
Maybe
this way.
don't do that.
So he's watching porn. He's hiding it. It sounds like, and you don't like it, right?
Yeah.
And you're trying to not make him uncomfortable when you confront him about it.
Yeah. Because, okay, I know that sounds like crazy because it's making me uncomfortable and I'm like worried about him. But I don't know. It's just such a complicated situation that, like, so part of me feels like before I was in this relationship, it never bothered me. And now there's a lot that's gone on. Like him and I recently lost our baby and stuff like that. So it's just been like, it's hard because I'm really, really sensitive. So I'm trying not to strike a nerve with him and make him feel like I'm like a nagging person. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So, no,
Well,
but I guess a place of curiosity is better than not bringing it up at all. I know it's going to be a difficult conversation regardless.
it's going to be, and you got to prepare yourself for that. Like, this is going to be a difficult conversation, but you're wanting more. You're wanting more for the two of you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm sorry you
Yeah.
lost a baby. That's so tough.
Thank you. Yeah, I know. And I think that's why it's like I said, it's hard to like have difficult conversations because I'm also feeling super sensitive. So I think it's just one of those like just really crappy situations. And I think the biggest thing is I think a lot of very common way, and I think a lot of people can relate to this, is like he hides it in weird ways. Like it's not just like his Safari, it's like Twitter and Reddit and like
Mm-hmm.
all those weird places that people wouldn't actually think. You know what I mean? So that's also weird because I can't, like, it's not one of those things where it's like, oh, don't use Twitter anymore. You know what I mean?
Why not?
And I feel like a lot of people do that. I feel like Twitter is so I use Twitter every day. You know what I mean?
Do you watch
So I
naked
don't
people and
know.
masturbate to it?
Yeah, fair.
Right. So if
True.
it's a problem for him, then okay, it doesn't. To an extent, it doesn't matter what the thing is. If it's not helpful for him,
Yeah.
then that should be looked at. The question is, does he see it as a problem? Does he want change?
Yeah, I mean, when we talked about it when we first got together, and it was just one of those things where I basically explained to him, like, when you do that, it makes me feel like I'm not doing enough for you, just because how else is that supposed to make me feel? Like anybody can relate to, like, if you're doing that, that's weird.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes me feel like I have shortcomings, and it's just a really crappy feeling. And then like he didn't for a while, and then after everything happened, I feel like it just kind of started up again.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Well,
yeah, I don't know.
it's a tough situation, and I mean, what you originally asked was how do you talk to him about it without making it uncomfortable, and the answer is you probably won't. It's going to be uncomfortable. The question is, are
That's
you
fair.
still willing to have the conversation, even though you know it's going to be uncomfortable?
I think I need to, but I just don't know when a good time is. to do it. And I know that that's like a silly thing to say, because just like you said, it's going to be awkward regardless, as there's probably never going to be like a great time to talk about it. But I don't know if I'm ready for the stress that comes with having that kind of conversation right now. Like I might be.
That's exactly why you're avoiding it, right?
Yeah.
Because it's going to disrupt your
Yeah.
life. Yeah.
Yeah.
There is no such thing as a
And
good time or a perfect time. I mean, sure, you can use wisdom. It's like, hey, if I'm about to say you're a surgeon, I don't think you are, but say you're a surgeon and you're about to go into a 14-hour surgery. When you're walking into the operating room, probably wouldn't be the time to call your partner and be like, hey, by the way, we need to have a big, serious conversation about this thing. All right, got to go. Bye. Right? Just made up an analogy
yeah.
there. But it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, put aside a time where you guys can talk about it and bring it up. It's going to be difficult, and you'll get through it.
Yeah. Thank you. That was actually the best advice I think I've gotten in a really, really long time.
Great.
So thank you very much for that. I am going to hop off just because I don't know if you want to bring anybody else up, but
Yeah.
I've seen your lives for like days in a row and I haven't been able to get on.
Well,
But
thanks for sharing.
thank you very much. Yeah, no worries.
All right, bye-bye.
Yep.
Soft's daily weather report. Hey, what's going on? Okay, no, must have been an accident. Give me a follow if you guys don't follow me already. Like and share the live. I'm only going to be on for an hour, so we're going to do rapid fires here. Hi there, Miss Real Talk.
Hello.
What's going on?
Yes, I have a little bit of experience in this. I like keeping things straight up in the beginning, who I am and what I stand for. And
Okay.
when I met my fiance, I told him, to me, cheating is cheating. It doesn't mean necessarily, and I know everybody's idea of cheating is different. Mine is if you are looking at someone, and obviously you know how I feel about that as far as porn goes, then to me, that is cheating. And I don't give second chances. I don't give explanations. I think I think that women sometimes are afraid to speak up. We give men a free pass, so to speak, that it's okay and it's normal to look at porn. And maybe for some people, I'm not judging. I'm just saying for me, I say it straight up. That way, there's no miscommunication about how I am and who I am and what I stand for.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So does your partner watch porn or?
Not anymore.
Okay, you made it
Because
clear.
yeah, oh, I made it very clear. You only got one time. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
It's over.
Mm-hmm.
Because and here's the thing, um, I've never experienced that until this time in my relationships. And I said, and I tell everybody straight up, that's what I stand for. And my mistake only in this relationship was not saying it straight up. So when I found out, he admitted it, and I said, if you do it again, I want to make myself very clear. We are done. We are through. We are over. I don't give another chance. This is it. This is all.
Yeah.
And I said, I want you to understand that for me, that's cheating. When you're looking at someone else and you're lusting for that person and it's not the person you're with, then that's so disrespectful to me because you know how I feel now. So I'm making it clear. So far so good. And we've been together 8 years now.
Good for you. Good for you. Yeah, being clear, having a clarity of expectation is super important, especially with regard to pornography.
Absolutely. I agree.
Yeah.
I love your
Good.
live, by the way. Love it.
Thank you. Thanks for sharing. All right, bye-bye.
I wish everyone.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were done. I didn't mean to cut you off. Cynthia, define excessive. How much lusting after other women is acceptable for you until it becomes excessive? Dog Prince, hi there. How's it going?
Hi, good evening.
Good evening. What's going on?
I have been through this with an ex-husband of mine, And I realized that it was insecurities in our relationship and insecurities that I had. Moving forward, we're divorced. We have been for a long time, and I'm remarried 15 years. And my current husband, he watches it. I have no problem with it. Women and men are different in that capacity, and they have a different drive than women do. It's just a fact. And sometimes women can't be there for their man like they want, and they just need to have a release, and that's fine. I'm 100% secure with who I am and what I am and in my relationship. And we've had numerous conversations about it, and I have no issues with it. I don't feel it's cheating. I don't feel it's an issue. I've actually walked in on him doing that, and it's turned out to be a fun time for both of us. So I personally have no issues with it. And I don't feel it's cheating because that person's not there. It's a fantasy. It's whatever you want to look at it as. Where I feel it's a problem is if you're going to go out and do it with somebody else. That's cheating.
Okay.
He's never lied to me about it. He's never hidden it. It's not been an issue. So
And you're married to this person?
yeah, we're married.
Okay. And how do you feel that he gets aroused while watching presumably another woman have sex on a screen, and lusts after them and masturbates to it?
It does not bother me. We've actually gone to what do you call it? Like strip clubs together, and I don't have an issue with it. And I think it has a lot to do with the securities I have about myself, and if he knows that I don't condone like cheating with somebody. We've had multiple conversations about that. I don't cheat on him. He doesn't cheat on me. And it just, I think to me has to do with being secure in who you are and what you're about. And that's
So
just my
you're
personal.
yeah, yeah. So you're so secure that when your husband masturbates to other women, it doesn't bother you.
100%.
Okay. Fascinating. How long have you been married to him?
15 years.
Okay. What do you think he thinks about when he's masturbating while watching those other women?
I don't know, and I honestly never really gave it a thought.
Okay. Well, if you were to just take a guess, what he might be imagining, what do you think that might be?
Maybe having sex with them.
Okay. And how do you feel about that?
It's a fantasy. It's there in the moment, and then it's done.
Until the next
I mean,
time.
we watched it together, and it's never, to me, been an issue. I mean, I've actually walked in on him masturbating to a video of me.
Yeah. Why do you think he does that? Why do you think he masturbates while watching other women have sex and imagining he's having sex with them?
I think that every man does.
That's not true.
And why do you say it's not true?
Because I know it's not true.
Can you explain further?
Well, I coach people who to not watch porn, and I know hundreds of men who don't watch porn and masturbate. So to say that every man does it is just not true.
Okay, let me rephrase that. Every man I've ever known has done that.
Okay. Okay.
So I mean, now that we are older, I mean, he's almost 60. I'm in my early 50s. His sex drive's not as forward as it used to be, and due to some of the medication he's on. So he said that he hasn't been doing that recently, like in the last, I'd say 3-4 years, because his drive is not as high as it used to be. And I asked, we've talked about it. I mean, we're very open in our relationship, and he said, I just don't have the drive that I used to, so I don't feel it necessary.
So, okay, so just because he has a lower drive, what's the point with that? Now he can go watch other women on a screen and masturbate to them?
No. I'm saying that he doesn't have the drive like he used to, where I'm not, like, if we're not having sex every day, or I would say every 3 days, where he feels like he needs to have it every day, he's okay with the every 3 days, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay.
Does that
All right.
make sense? Am I doing that right?
Well, yeah, I understand. I don't understand what that has to do with his porn use. No, red eye. She made an assertion about every man, and I told her that's not true based on my experience. So I know myself, I don't watch porn and masturbate. So her statement can't be true, assuming you believe what I'm saying in the men who I coach. I'm not saying she's wrong. I'm just saying that it can't be a true statement based on what my experience is. If you want to come on and chat, Red Eye, I'm happy to chat.
Have different experiences. That's all. I'm not.
Well, you made an assertion about all men. You made an assertion about all men. I just gave more data to that assertion.
So the ones that I've met.
That's not what you said. Yeah, you clarified it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's all I had to say.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
You have a great night.
You too.
Yeah. Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Red Eye, why don't you come on and chat? Hey there, what's going on?
What's going on? Are you letting multiple people in here like you did previously on one of your lives? If Red Eye wanted to come in here,
well, sure. If he specifically wants to, I typically don't like doing that, man. It's just like everybody talks over each other. It's so if you want to deal with that nonsense, go on some other creators live.
Yeah. No, I just remember being in one of your lives before, and there was a few people.
Yeah, that was like one time I've done it in the last couple of months. It just gets too hard to manage. But I'm not saying I'll never.
So
do
like.
It. Yeah.
I have been watching your stuff, and I think what I've learned from your lives, and this is basically just the easiest way to put it, is it really just depends on the people and just kind of what their view is, how they kind of have a take on it. I guess it's just personal preference, because you can't blanket, a situation over a bunch of people. It all just comes down to kind of who the person is and just kind of how they view things.
Yeah. Sure. To answer the question of is porn cheating, yeah. I mean, I agree. It depends on what the agreement is, right? Then there's the other questions of is porn useful, is it beneficial, is it healthy for a relationship, and all that, right? But the is porn cheating question, yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, I just my personal opinion is just I don't personally think it is. I mean, it's all circumstantially. I know there's a lot of people who. And you could twist it.
Red Eye's requesting here. You wanna try bringing him on here as well?
Oh yeah, I mean, if he wants to come in here, by all means.
Did you want? Okay, Red Eye, what's up, man?
No, like why do you? But my whole thing about it is that why do you think that it's cheating? Why do you think that porn is cheating?
Well,
in your opinion.
In my opinion, if you're in a committed relationship, a committed monogamous relationship where you've said something like "I love you and only you," mind, body, and soul, till death do us part. Yeah. If you deviate from that, from the agreement you made, then that would be cheating. Going against the agreement is a betrayal and is cheating.
But if the agreement involved that you were both, what's the best way to put it? If you were both.
So if what I just laid out is true, then the inverse would not be true. If you're not in a committed monogamous relationship, then going outside the agreement, then going outside the agreement wouldn't be cheating, right? So if you're
Okay, then
if you're
I guess
okay
put
with
it
there
this way
being other
then.
people, then it's not cheating.
So what if, okay, so in the sense of watching other people, like porn in the aspect of other people, yeah, I could agree with that, getting attached and seeing the other person, like, how to put this, if you're making porn with your significant other and you guys watch that, is that, you still consider that cheating?
Did you guys consent to making the porn and watching the porn together? You guys are in agreement on
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
And what do you think?
Then I think it should be fine.
Yeah, it doesn't go against your
I don't
agreement.
think- Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Then the question is that useful? Right? Because, the
So the
data
only reason
suggests
that
that watching
I
people
really
have sex on the
believe that
screen makes it
masturbation
harder
is
to have
only
physical
useful-
intimacy with the person. Well, hold on. Masturbation is different than porn. Generally,
Yes, very
when we talk about porn, we think of it as watching porn and masturbating. But, masturbation is a separate topic.
Okay, true. So why would you, I guess, watch porn if you weren't?
I don't know, but many people do. I talk to people who watch porn for 4, 6, 8 hours a day and don't even masturbate. They're addicted.
See, I don't know that. I don't understand. That is a whole different, I think, realm of questioning and understanding and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and it's very real. It's not as uncommon as you might think.
Well, that's something to know. Don't everybody know that?
Yeah.
I think that's one of the things with your live streams in particular, of that it's always been controversial to me, because you have the watcher, who watches it once in a while, does what she needs to do, leaves it alone, doesn't think about it after, doesn't dwell on the fact that they watched it, just does it, goes on with their life. But then there's the people who are so addicted that they can't live without it, that it actually becomes an issue in their relationship. And that's where it would be cheating. When it affects your significant other, wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, I don't know, whatever you do relationship wise, that's when it becomes a problem. And that's the reason why I think the lives can be so controversial, because there are people that are so addicted to it, they can't even live their own life with watching it. But like people like me, my girlfriend knows this, she's sitting right here, we both individually watch it once in a while, and it doesn't affect our relationship. We just recently got married, bought our first house, we're starting a business next year. It's I think it's beneficial to watch it, because if she's not in the mood, or I'm not in the mood, and she wants to go do her thing and have no strings attached, it is what it is. But it's the people that live on that screen and just profusely do it are the ones that kind of ruin it, in my opinion.
I agree with that.
Yeah, well, you can certainly talk about gradations of addiction, right? And then I would just ask the question of, is it helpful or not? I know you say it's helpful right now, and I'm not going to try to change your mind on that, right?
Yeah.
But for every time I've heard somebody, I'm assuming you're in your 20s-ish, or early 30s maybe. For every time I've talked to somebody who said that, I talked to somebody in their 50s who had the exact same perspective as you do right now. And then they realize, oh my gosh, this is actually a really big deal. I can't believe I let this go on for 20 years.
Yeah. Well, honestly, with no shame, I can say that I've been doing it for 10 years. I'm not going to say all men do it, because that would be a complete lie, but I'll say I think a majority of human beings do, watch porn and masturbate. I don't think it's an issue unless you actually allow it to make it an issue. I mean, me and my girlfriend wake up every day with a smile, healthy relationship. Financially, we work 50-50. We have, never fight. I mean, about small things, about, what painting we want on the wall, but there's no profusely drooling at the screen, not being able to exit out of the porn tab type thing. And I think that's when there's an issue. But I mean, we, as casual watchers who watch it to do what we need to do and forget, it's fine.
Yeah, I got it. Question is why? Why do you need that, right? I know you claim it helps you, but if you think about it, like in order to help your relationship or yourself personally, you have to masturbate to somebody else having sex.
Well, here's the thing, and I've heard your lives before, and there's ways of going so in depth that eventually what I'll do is I'll agree with what you said. But my answer for that, and I don't hate you or anything, this is just my opinion.
I got it. Yeah.
Honestly, and this is as simple as it is for me personally and her, if we just want to go and bust a nut, we're just going to go and bust that shit and leave it alone. Don't think about it. Don't talk about it. Just get it done and get it out, and that's it. There is no deep diving into, oh, I need to find just the perfect video on the perfect site, and I'm going to sit here and twiddle my fingers till I find it. It's just more of a, I'm horny, you're not. Let me just go to the bathroom real quick, get it done with.
Yeah, I got it. The question then, if what you're really, quote, needing to do is bust a nut, why don't you do that without porn? Why don't you just masturbate?
Maybe. Well, it's nice to watch the video.
It's a visualization for most people, though.
Okay.
You
so
can
why
be-
not?
the-
Why
by
not?
watching
Why
and
not
seeing
visualize
that-
your partner then? Why not just use your partner for that?
But for some people, I mean, yes, you could visualize your partner, but it's not, like you said, not in every person's relationship, but in some, watching porn is a visualization of watching you and your partner. It can emphasize.
But I'm
Basically.
saying, again, why not just, let's just say you have content of you and your partner. Why not just use that? Why not keep it in the relationship just for the two of you? I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just
made the
challenging the
content
perspective,
before.
right? Why not do that?
But why not? I guess at the same time is the same
The
question.
reason is that because people who, and this is a very controversial thing, I can read your comments, it's crazy. It's just so controversial, and there's just so many, open ends about it, but it's just, if you just go and watch it, it's not for everybody, right? I'm not going to speak for too bunch of people because I can't. For myself personally, it's not about the person, the body type, what they look like. It's just, I just need something to just help it get out. Like I don't go as deep as being like, oh, I lust for my partner and I need to see her and only her. It's the end of the world if I don't. No, I just found a fucking vagina on the internet and nut to it and I'm done. Like that's as simple as it is. There's nothing deeper. I look for something, I watch it, and done.
I really
Can't
do.
wait to clip that one.
I really think it comes from everybody's
You're gonna go viral,
own
bro.
everybody's own personal dilemma in their relationship. If you don't have a healthy relationship from the beginning and have a communicative, like I was saying in the comments, if you don't have a communicative relationship, then watching porn is going to be a problem. If you don't have communication and trust in your partner, then you're going to have problems. And that's why most people that watch porn, like what you're saying is porn cheating, that are watching porn like that, most of their problems are relying on something else. It's coming from something else.
Well,
The
100%.
obsession that
Porn is never the issue. Porn is always a symptom of another problem. People turn to porn
Exactly.
for a quick fix, a quick dopamine release. At its core, at its neurological level, it's a dopamine addiction.
Yeah,
You're 100%
but
right about that. The question is there something more useful or resourceful to do instead of going and finding a dime a dozen vagina on the internet to look at? I mean, think about what you said, Curly Hair. Like, was that really honoring to your partner? I get you're probably going to say,
So are you? So
Doesn't
I
matter.
guess. Hold on. Before we get into anything else, are you Catholic?
am I Catholic? No.
Yes. No. So why? I guess I just don't understand that hardcore belief in that. If you're both in an understanding, and it's just like you're. I guess it's being pulled to a different level of. How do you put this? I do apologize for all my mishaps. I have a speech impairment. Yeah, sorry.
Don't think it's that deep. It's just going
Look,
to watch your stuff and leave it alone.
But here's the thing: is so you got married. What did you say to your wife on your wedding day, Curly Hair?
I do.
That's it. You just said I do.
The problem is
What did you say I do in response to? Probably something like I will love, honor, cherish, respect you and only you till death do our
Our
part.
vows
do
were
us part.
different, but
I got it,
they're,
but presumably some
same-
sort of a vow like that. But the question is, did you say that to her? You're mine, only yours, or it's like you and a bunch of other vaginas on the internet, whichever one feels the best that night.
Well, that's where it gets so
Controversy right there, yeah.
controversial, because people like yourself who were so involved and addicted with it now just want to portray to people who are just once in a while watchers that it's such a bad thing because
Yeah.
your mistakes.
That's how it
I
comes
think that
across.
that's a
No.
projection.
Hold
That's
on.
how
Hold
you
on.
you
First of
come
all,
feel.
across, though.
no.
That's what it is.
Here,
It is.
how old are you, curly hair?
I'm 21, almost
Okay, so
22.
first of all,
24.
when I was your age, I probably was about the same casual watcher as you, maybe a couple times a month. And what
Yeah,
I'm
but you
telling
lost the self-control. That's what
and
happened.
you will too.
You weren't strong enough.
You will too. Porn use
No,
always
I won't.
escalates.
You
Porn
won't,
use
though.
always escalates. When I was 21, I never would have imagined I would have cheated on my wife. And I'm not saying
I
you're going
watched
to
the
physically
same
cheat.
amount of porn that I watched since I was, 12.
I got it. But it will escalate into something else. Mark my words. It will escalate into something else. The frequency, the
Escalate into
duration,
something
when
else
you're,
as far as
when you're
yeah,
doing
yeah,
it,
it might
where you're
escalate
doing
as
it.
far as getting rid of porn, yeah, and you might start making more to yourself.
But the
and
question
going
is,
into
guys,
doing stuff with your wife, getting rid
Just
of
look
that.
at this. What I want you to notice here is you guys are arguing about how many other vaginas I should be watching while I'm married. Is that really the conversation you want to have as a
That's
married
not
man?
the argument.
How
That's
many
just
other
what you like to
vaginas?
put on us to your viewers.
Exactly.
That's what
Exactly.
you
That's
took
not
it to.
what that is.
Why not?
You
What?
yourself
How could you
and many
more
other
honor
men
your
had
partner?
an issue. That's what happened. Is that you had an issue, let it go.
It all started from
And to the
something
avid
else.
watcher, you want to make us feel like shit, twist our words, our morals, our definitions, and that's what it is.
These are
I'm
your
sorry
words
that
you
you
brought
had
into
Like
that
it.
you did
life
to that
path,
woman.
but I don't.
Picking out something that you didn't agree with, like I already said, acting as if a god.
Yeah.
Guys, it's a simple question: is this resourceful or not? And I've said a bunch of times here, I'm not going to try to change your mind. If anything, my intent is to educate on where this goes from my experience. You can take that or leave it, okay? I am telling you, porn use, it always escalates. You might not believe me, okay? But it will go to another place that you didn't expect it to, is my assertion.
For those people
I'm not
that
saying
have
I'm right.
yeah, for those
I'm
people that
just
have
telling you.
obsessive disorders, yes.
Okay.
For those people that have obsessive disorders.
If and when, oftentimes this happens when a woman has a baby, okay? And if, I don't know if either of you guys have kids, but if and when your partner has a
Not
baby,
yet.
okay, and then you're still watching porn and masturbating, she's going to feel differently about her and her body, and something may change, okay? I'm not saying it will for you. What I'm just saying is maybe there's more room here than what you guys are seeing right in the future. And if not, no problem, okay?
But porn
Don't change your mind. I'm not trying to change your mind.
You wouldn't even be watching the porn and having the thought of it being cheating if you both had a committed and healthy relationship and actually talked about everything throughout the day. If you had a problem, I don't sugarcoat anything at all.
Yeah.
Like if I had a problem, I'm gonna tell you. If you had a problem, then please tell me. Like we're very honest with each other. And most people think that we're toxic and stuff like that. And that's how it is. I don't surround myself with many people because they don't understand us. I'm not a person to sugarcoat anything. I don't cover up anything. If you can't have a healthy, committed relationship, then obviously watching porn when you go to watch it is going to become a problem.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
Obviously.
Yeah, so, I mean,
And no disrespect to you and your live or anything like that. And like you said, like you can't change our opinions, we can't change yours. But the bare factor is that it comes from another issue. It's not just porn is not just cheating. Porn comes from another issue that causes cheating.
it always comes from another issue, 100%. Porn use always comes from something else.
And porn
it's a
can
symptom of
cause
another
people
problem.
to cheat, but is porn cheating? No.
Well, it depends on what the relationship is in the agreement, or what the agreement is in the relationship. If you've agreed to be monogamous and committed to one another, by definition,
then
it's cheating.
literally answering your question is porn cheating, then can't be answered then.
It
then
can't
you
be
have to
answered with
ask
additional
the-
detail. It merits a discussion.
But
So
it's
it depends
not
on
a
the agreement.
discussion because it starts from something else.
It depends on the agreement. If you're committed to your partner and only your partner, then if you deviate from that, it's cheating. That's my perspective. You don't have to agree with it. Okay?
Yeah.
But if that's not your agreement, then no problem.
Exactly what Tiff just said. Exactly what Tiff just said in the thing. But you're not actually doing anything with an actual person, so it's therefore not cheating.
You're lusting after
Hey,
it.
a porn coach.
If you think about it this way, you watch porn, right? If you watch porn, or
I don't watch
you
porn.
think of if you think of, I'm saying in general, if you watch porn, or you think of yourself porn, you know the definition of porn, right?
Yeah,
The
imagery
actual
usually
definition?
depicting an organ or multiple organs of a person with the erotic intent to arouse.
Yeah. So what if you're thinking of your wife in that sense? Is porn cheating then?
Still porn, but it wouldn't.
Yeah,
I don't know.
exactly. It's
Actually,
still porn.
it depends on the agreement.
Exactly.
It
But no,
depends on the agreement.
no,
It always
no,
depends
no,
on the
no.
agreement.
Exactly what you just said.
It always
What's the
depends on the
definition of
agreement.
porn? But what's the
It's still porn, and it depends on the agreement. It depends on the agreement, man. I will.
But
It all
I'm
depends
literally
on how
trying to
you
get to
answer
your
that question.
Is porn cheating? Porn originate like.
Depending on the agreement.
But if you're porn and like you said, like what's another way to think about it? Well, porn is if the intent is there, you're envisioning it like that. All that is still there.
If
It's
you've
still the
made
same
porn of
thing.
yourselves for one another, then it seems as though there's at least an implied agreement where that's okay. And that could be the agreement. It could be we only watch porn of ourselves. It depends on the agreement.
Anyways, so the last thing that I'm going to say is that, because I have to be respectful with it, this is your live stream. I have my personal opinions and you have yours. And I do appreciate that you're coming on here. And I think you are going to reach people like you're intending to help them with that addiction. Me personally, I don't view myself as an addict. I mean, I'm looking at it right now. We don't have an issue with watching it, but I do appreciate what you're doing in your space on here. And I'm not going to disrespect you and be like, oh, screw you. I don't believe, what you're saying, because I'm not that person. But we have different opinions, and that's just what I'm going to leave it at. But I do respect
It's fun.
what you're doing on this platform. Like, I do think there are people with a problem. And if you can reach them, good. That's where I'm going to leave it.
Yeah, we don't
So
have
I
to agree,
appreciate
man.
your time.
I'm not here to agree with people. So yeah, thanks for the conversation.
Yeah, I do appreciate it.
Yeah. All right. See you guys.
Yeah.
What's the score of the Niners game? Girl named AJ. What's going on?
Hi. All right. I've been wanting to get in here for a minute. Okay. So I'm gonna talk out of a personal experience, giving a quick little backstory, and then I'll go into why I'm talking about this. There was a guy that I've known for years. I was friends with, honestly, his ex-girlfriends. Like, I know him very well, and he never cheated. He never did anything like that. He was the least likely person to ever cheat on anyone ever. Like, he was a doll. And all of his ex-girlfriends were trash, and he was precious. But anyways, so moving on. I started dating him, and he mentioned that he had been struggling here and there in the past watching it. And I told him, I was like, okay, well, here's the thing. I don't date people that watch it. I don't want that. Like, this is strictly going to be our intimacy. Like, I don't want it to be outside of that, just because I'm not okay with that. That's just a boundary I place for myself, because that's just what I'm about. And so some time passed, and I realized that he was therefore, pressuring me into doing some more things here and there as time went on. And I realized that he was addicted to doing it rather than just watching it. Like, it became an addiction in total for him. And so I kind of backed off a little bit, and I was like, hey, this is a lot for me. Like, maybe we should chill out. Some time passed, and I realized that I ended up pregnant, and I miscarried, and I did not know that was what was going on until it happened. And whenever that happened, he immediately reverted back, did not tell me. And he found the woman that he had been watching, contacted her, and they had a relationship behind my back. And he found a way to contact her, and pretty much, as said and done, cheated on me with this girl. He ended up having a relationship with her behind my back. And some time has passed now. We're doing better now. But at the end of the day, I feel like corn can sometimes be a way to relieve stress, and it can turn into anything as much as a drug, alcohol. I feel like it has that addiction sense where it is a release. And whenever trauma really struck, and whenever things got really hard, and I was definitely not available at that time at all for anything, because that was just total left field, he immediately reverted back, but way worse than how I expected. And so whenever these girls and stuff, like I've been on your live for a minute, whenever these girls come in, they're like, I don't know how to talk to him. I'm scared to talk to them. I'm scared to talk to her about it. It bothers me because I'm like, if this is a standard that you put for yourself, if this makes you feel uncomfortable, you're not secure in your relationship. Like, you're just not. Because if this was something where y'all can talk it out and y'all can work through things, you know, then that shouldn't be an issue. And people that just are okay with, you know, he's in the next room doing it, that's fine. After a while, it's going to get worse and worse, whether it's between both of y'all, as far as like his drive more or her drive more, to the point that y'all can't meet at that. But I think that some stressful things, some trauma, it can definitely make things a lot worse. And I mean, whenever this was going on, he was 20, like, you know, young, whenever all of this was going on. But I feel like I was a little irritated with the last two guys in there, because I feel like you need to grow up a little bit more, in the sense that if you want a healthy relationship, you know, if you want her happy, if you want him happy, as far as like, if you're having like an open relationship, that's totally fine. That's totally up to you. You know, you do you. That's no discrimination whatsoever. But if you say I do, in the sense that you are my only person, I'm your only person, I feel like there should not be a window opening for that. And you should not be uncomfortable to talk to your partner about that.
Yeah.
But
yeah, so you've really lived through a lot of that. That's really tough.
I have. But
Yeah,
and for people that struggle with it, that come to your, you know, lives, that are struggling with that, want to seek help, it is possible. It is absolutely possible. Not going to go into too much detail, but I really struggled with it a lot at the age of 12, and I was used a lot during that time, and so I have a really dark past of it. So that was why, entering this relationship, I immediately set that boundary, as in, I'm not okay with this, and don't expect this out of me. And, you know, that was just a boundary I set forthfront. And so, I don't know, if you set that boundary, that's just like saying, you know, I don't want to date an alcoholic. Well, if he ends up being an alcoholic, put that standpoint, you know, and say, like, either you're gonna have to change, or I'm not okay with that. It goes both ways.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, setting a boundary is very important. I think particularly with, you know, people around your age, having this conversation early and often is super important, and making your position clear. And it takes a lot of strength to do that.
Oh yeah, but I do agree with you in the sense that whenever stressful things happen, and even as far as like her body changing, his body changing over time, the door only gets bigger. It doesn't ever close. It only gets worse, and only gets darker. It's a hard thing that I've lived through for the majority of my life, and one thing that has been definitely hard, but has absolutely been possible to cut off.
Yeah. Yeah, and it takes courage to do so. Good for you.
But anyways, I just want to share my story as far as stressful situations happening and reverting back. But please stand up for yourself if you're in what you call a healthy relationship, you know, and you want that for yourself. Please stand up for yourself, because you don't need to be with someone who walks all over you. You don't. It's not healthy for you.
Yeah.
But anyways, thank you so much for having this.
Thanks for sharing. Take care.
You too.
Carrie, what is going on? Hi there. Or Carrie's child. Carrie, you there? No. Hi there, what's going on? Okay. Chicken nugget. Father Kush 69. Let me guess, 1 through 68 was taken. Space Cowboy. These names never cease to amaze. Hey there, what's going on? All right, I've only got like 15 minutes left because I told my wife I'd be done at 7:15. So Chloe. Hey, I'm good. How are you? I am in Arizona. Oh my gosh. There's so many people waiting, but nobody's actually here. Madre Fuerte. Hey there, what's going on?
So I just wanted to give my opinion. I am a 37-year-old female. I am newly divorced as of last year. And I came on to say that I completely agree with you, because I feel like people just kind of look at porn in, oh, it's not going to hurt this person, whatever. But it does. It's an addiction. You form a bond with the person that is a fantasy. You create the fantasy in your head. So it's more like it's more.
Hey, you're covering up your mic. You gotta. Can you
hear me?
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Okay. So when you have this addiction, people say, oh, I'm not going to be addicted to it, but eventually you will, because you create this bond, like this fantasy with someone that you're seeing online, that it's not a person you're ever going to meet. You create this.
Okay. Well, the last person who was in here, you think you're not going to meet him until you start looking him up, and then you meet him in real life, like that last person said. So some people are like, oh my gosh, they're like, you're crazy. When I say you think you might never meet him until you actually do, until you go seek them out. Now, obviously, to the random stranger in the average hub video, yeah, that's probably not going to happen. But it does happen, as evidenced by the previous person. Where's the Brett Michaels? It's right here.
Hi there.
Hey there, what's going on?
Hey, I'm okay. How are you?
I'm doing good, thank you. What's up?
I just wanted to say my opinion is I don't think it's cheating. I watch it, and I had a partner who enjoyed me being more experimental because I did watch it, and we used it as a means of making our relationship a closer relationship. But I also agree, on the other hand, with the fact that it desensitizes you, and you have to go for more and more and more, and then eventually, when does enough become enough, and when does stop become, well, when is the right time to kind of say, no, that's getting a little bit too much now. So yeah, I just wanted to say I never felt like I was cheating on my partner when I was watching it. It wasn't one specific person I ever watched. It was different, very, very various different things. Sometimes I watched it purely out of curiosity, a morbid curiosity, I guess.
Are you still with that partner?
I don't feel like I was cheating on that partner.
Are you still with that partner?
I'm not still with that partner, but we didn't break up because of me watching it or him watching it. He watched it as well. And we did it together sometimes, and we did it independently sometimes. But we used it to improve our relationship, and it didn't destroy that relationship.
What destroyed the relationship?
Financial situations destroyed the relationship. So it was nothing sexual that destroyed the relationship.
Okay. All right.
How
do you still watch porn?
What do you think about it?
Well, what I think about that is
on a healthy level, yes.
In many cases, a lack of intimacy is what actually destroys a relationship. And when when we're watching porn, or when everything in the relationship is just about having the next, most euphoric experience in bed, that usually gets people further away from true intimacy.
Well, yeah, that's true. Again, I agree with you there that the right kind of intimacy. Yeah, I agree with you. From the right kind of intimacy.
Yeah.
You know, like it not being a kind of right, you put your legs there, you put your arms there, you put your head there, then we'll do this, then we'll do that, and it all becoming kind of mechanical and kind of, oh, let's repeat exactly what we've seen on screen. Takes away from that kind of, that natural kind of, that lustful feeling that you get when you're with a
Yeah, I mean,
partner. Yeah.
you may win that night, but are you really actually creating a bond with the other person that is holistically intimate?
Yeah. Okay. On that side of things, yes, I agree. You probably aren't. But that's why we didn't always do it, because when we'd been watching it, we would have nights where we would go for lovely dinners and then go for a lovely walk on the beach or something like that, and then we would have those intimate nights. But then other nights we would also balance off with, let's go a little crazy. And I don't think there's any harm in sometimes going a little crazy. And if I was watching it independently of him, I wouldn't be scared to tell him what I'd watched and who had been in it. He wouldn't feel cheated. And if he had, I wouldn't feel cheated. However, my sister, her husband, when she found out he was watching it, he was watching girls that were nothing like her in appearance, were nothing like her in the things they were doing. And she felt very cheated on. Whereas I said to her, but oh, come on, it's only a little bit of corn. And, what's the harm? He's not touching, he's not going out there drinking and touching another woman and things like that. At least he's being faithful to you. But she felt he was being very much unfaithful.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, that's like two different people's perspectives, my sister's and mine. And I think it depends on the person. Everybody, is unique and kind of has their levels of acceptability. But I do definitely believe that it desensitizes you and that you have to keep
my
getting
position
that.
on whether it's cheating or not comes back to the agreement. But I think the bigger question is what will lead to the most intimacy, the most connection with your partner. Is masturbating while watching other people on a screen going to create the most intimacy between you two? Or is reserving that for just you and your partner going to create the most intimacy?
Yeah, but I mean, well, that's what I'm saying. I wasn't using it to masturbate. I was using it to actually go and actually say, let's try this. And then it was a thing between us.
Yeah.
So that level of intimacy was maintained in my eyes.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks for sharing.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right. Bye-bye. All right. One more person. I'm getting off in 5 minutes. One more. Normally, I would say I need a dude to argue with, but in this little 1 hour live, I think we met our quota on that early on, which is great. I'm always down for that. No, I'm stressed out. I have 5 minutes. I want to be on here for 4 hours, but I told my wife I'd go pick up my daughter. The mic is a Shure SM7DB. Brittany Shabak. I don't know when I'll go live next, Krista, to answer your question. No? Thank you very much for this platform. Incredible. Read a passage from one of the book. Oh, that's actually a good idea. I will do that. So, by the way, I'm a coach. I do one-on-one coaching as well as group coaching, both for men dealing with porn or sex addiction and women dealing with betrayal trauma. I'm going to read something from The Porn Myth. That's how we're going to end this. 1 second. All right. This book, if you want to, I don't show that for very long because I feel like that can get me banned. Let's see. porn in our relationships. How about this? Married life will cure us. Men won't turn to porn. Porn should be used as sexual aid. How about this one? Porn should be used as a sexual aid to enhance intimacy. This is The Porn Myth by Matt Fratt. So for those, I don't know if those two guys are still on, but listen up. Am I going to be back on tonight? No. So this is number 21, myth number 21 about pornography from The Porn Myth by Matt Fratt. Porn should be used as a sexual aid to enhance intimacy. I was once invited to speak at the University of Maryland for their annual Sex Week. These week-long anything-goes sex education smorgasbords are fairly common at American universities. Peter Roth, contributing editor at U.S. News & World Report, said that they are as ubiquitous as Rush Week and Homecoming. During a typical sex week, in addition to the lectures about sexual violence and STDs, one can attend sex toy workshops, drag shows, lectures from porn stars, sadomasochistic seminars, sexy beach parties, X-rated film screenings, and even, I'm not going to say the word, illicit fashion shows. Classy. The Animal House version of higher education, in my opinion, surpasses the ridiculousness. Of course, with the number of people having sex on university campuses, a little sex education is probably a good thing, but I'm not sure how stripper poles and bondage provide this. I agree with what Yale graduate Nathan Harden says about these events. The way I see it, a porn producer is about as qualified to lecture me on human sexuality as the CEO of McDonald's is to lecture me on healthy food choices. But I digress. During Maryland Sex Week, I was scheduled to speak somewhere between deconstructing gender and families and relationships and BDSM on a budget. I was asked to speak about the negative effects of pornography. At the end of my talk, a young lady raised her hand and asked my opinion on the claim that porn can enhance romantic intimacy within a relationship. I commonly get this question, and perhaps more commonly during a university-sponsored sex ed extravaganza. Recently, I read a Dear Abby column that addresses this very issue with a married couple. The husband was pushing his wife to watch pornographic movies during sex. Jeanne Phillips, the advice columnist behind Dear Abby, said that couples can watch porn to spice up their sex lives so long as both individuals are comfortable with it. Couples all over the world use porn in this way, and many feel that it kicks arousal into high gear. But the question remains, should couples do this? I would like to answer this question by asking another one. What is it about their relationship that couples think they are improving through their use of porn? Are they having more pleasurable sex? Perhaps. Do they feel more turned on? Maybe. But what if the mechanics of arousal and pleasure are not the essence of better sex? What if the big O of sex is not an orgasm, but oneness? What if the best sex is about bonding and connecting to another person? The fact is, many studies show that porn doesn't complement sexual intimacy with one's partner. It competes with it. If you become more and more dependent on images of other naked people in front of your face in order to be aroused, then you are castrating your brain. After all, that's what impotence really means, without your own power. If you find that you need those images or memories of those images to reach a climax, then you and your spouse aren't the ones with the power anymore. The image has power over you. As one wife told me, when we watch porn in the bedroom, I don't get the feeling that he's really with me. I'm not his lover. He's just masturbating in my body. People who watch porn have lower levels of sexual satisfaction with their partners. According to a study published in the Journal of Applied Psychology, after only a few prolonged exposures to pornographic videos, men and women alike reported less sexual satisfaction with their intimate partners, including with their partner's affection, physical appearance, and sexual performance. People who watch porn also have lower levels of relational commitment and don't communicate as well with their partners. The Journal of Social and Clinical Psychology released the result of several studies about the impact of porn on relationships. In one experience, half a group gave up porn for 3 weeks, and the other half gave up their favorite food, but were allowed to watch porn. Interestingly, those who watched porn showed increased commitment to their romantic relationship at the end of the 3 weeks. According to another study published in the Archives of Sexual Behavior, compared with those who watch porn alone or even with their partners, those who don't view any porn at all have lower levels of negative communication in their relationship. Also, it shouldn't come as a surprise, as people who don't watch porn are more likely to cheat. It shouldn't come as a surprise that people who watch porn are more likely to cheat on their partners. Hold on. One study, for instance, found that regardless of how satisfied people are with their relationships, watching porn heightens their perception that the grass is greener somewhere else, and they are thus more likely to flirt with others and cheat on a partner. Another study found that the rate of infidelity among those who don't watch porn is half the rate of those who had watched porn either alone or with partners. Some men have thought, or even said to their partners, "At least I go to porn to get my needs met. I don't sleep around." This attitude is hardly commendable. These men are essentially saying, if I didn't have the ability to get off to virtual women, who knows what I would do to real women? If we believe that one of the chief goals of sex and intimacy, why would anyone think watching strangers have sex is a way to achieve this goal? All right. So that's the Porn Myth, Chapter 21. Anyways, I'm a coach. I do one-on-one coaching as well as group coaching, both for men dealing with porn addiction and women dealing with betrayal trauma. If you're interested in talking about my coaching groups or my one-on-one coaching, or join our intimacy workshop this Saturday if you want to build real intimacy with your partner, not just having the goal to have a better orgasm, like the book says, consider joining one of my groups. Until next time, when will my next live be? I don't know. Turn on your notifications. See you later. Bye-bye.